Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is my review for The Foster Season 2, Episode 2, Take Me Out. Now, the first episode, last week's, I really enjoyed it. That was a really good premiere, and a really good episode. Now, this episode, however, I don't think it was one of the best episodes. Honestly, it was one of the weaker episodes of The Fosters. Like, the Fosters have had a couple weak episodes, like, for example, Kids in the Hall, or The Morning After. Episodes like that have been a little bit weak, or even the mid-season finale, I Do, things like that. And this was one of those weaker episodes, really. It was a good episode, but it was a little bit weak. Because Switched at Birth was so good this week, this was just not as good. Let's get to the episode, though. The main plot of this episode has to do with Brandon. Basically, he confronts, he talks to Steph, and Steph is comforting Brandon, who is having difficulty sleeping, and Brandon fears that he will never be able to play piano to his full potential again. And Steph reassures him and tells him not to give up. And basically, we know that Brandon can play piano, but he can't play classical, and that's a big problem because, of course, classical is his forte. It's what he's good at, and that's what he likes to do. He likes to play classical. And if he can't play classical, then that's obviously not good because, as I said, it's his forte. So Steph reassures him and tells him not to give up. Their heart-to-heart seems to hit home with Brandon as he decides to get surgery on his hand to repair the nerve damage. And Steph is kind of surprised to hear that her son is willing to risk permanent hand damage by going through with the surgery. So what then happens is back at home. Lena tells Brandon that he can go through with it. That he can go through with it, and because Steph really wasn't cool about it, and Lena says, "Well, you know what? You can go through with it. You're almost a grown man now. You can go through with it." And Steph puts her foot down on her decision to prohibit Brandon from getting the potentially dangerous hand surgery. And this upsets both Brandon and Lena. And after Brandon storms off, it is clear that Lena is hurt by Steph's choice to make such an important decision without her. Steph made a decision without Lena. And Lena's kind of upset about this. Because, there's tension in the air. The pair later discusses Lena's recent run-in with Timothy, who is now on the search committee for the new principal, and Steph asks Lena if it is the best idea for her to be principal at this time, and Lena confirms that obtaining the principal position is truly what she wants. So Mike interrupts Steph and Lena's conversation with an unannounced visit. He confronts Steph about her attempt to get information from Danny. She did get information before, she talked to Danny, subtly asking her about the night that Anna went missing. And Danny's very brief with Steph and said that she'll need to speak with Mike personally if she wants to discuss his sobriety. So what then happens is Steph questions Mike about what really happened in the bar that night. Mike reluctantly admits to having been part of a bar fight, but that he never saw or spoke to Anna. Insincerely, Steph apologizes. So yeah, we pretty much think everything's okay there, it seems. So then the Foster kids and Emma head to a local band play, and Brandon is memorized by the lead singer of this band, and, because this is one of his favorite childhood bands, and after the show, the guitarist actually approaches Brandon for his honest opinion of their performance. Musician to musician, and Brandon provides some constructive criticism, which the lead singer responds defensively. Even so, that the guitarist actually invites Brandon to come play with them. So Brandon continues to be intrigued by the band, and he searches for more information about them online, listens to some of their music, because even though he can't play classical, he could play this. So Lena tells Brandon that she supports his decision to get the operation. Steph overhears and confronts Lena about undermining her, and the parents argue as they each stand on opposing sides. Lena believes Brandon should have the right to choose, while Steph wants to protect Brandon from further disappointment. So basically, they kind of had some hiccups in this episode, which I kind of like seeing them having some hiccups, but Brandon begins playing the piano again, and Steph and Leah decide that they will look for more information options for Brandon's surgery. However, Brandon changed his mind and now wants to wait to see if his hand will recover without the surgery, so he made the right choice there. But then at the police station, Steph hears news that a body has been found with no ID yet, and the question is the body Anna's recent disappearance? So that's basically really big, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where that goes. So yeah, I thought the main plot was good. It was a good plot. Let's go to Callie in this episode. As we know, Callie, of course, found that man last week in the car, who she assumed was her father. And basically, this strange man appears at Callie's work once again, which we pretty much know is her father. And he tries to small talk with her about food. And during the casual conversation, Callie slips information about her two moms. And her coworker finds a $100 bill in the tip jar and assumes that it must have been the man who left it. So Stephaline and Callie learn that Robert Quinn is refusing to sign the adoption papers until a DNA test is done that proves Callie is actually his daughter. Like, he doesn't believe that she's his daughter. And apparently he is this big businessman with money that doesn't want Callie to touch, and Callie goes through with the DNA test, but Robert never shows. She admits to Mariana later that she is hurt by him not showing, and wishes she could have met him. And I thought that was a nice, touching scene. It really showed that Callie really does want this to happen, and she really does care. So, then what happens pretty much is an internet search leads Callie to more information about her father, which what she finds is the realization that the strange man who has been dining at her work is actually her father. So soon after, Robert Quinn visits Callie once again. Of course, she confronts him. She basically wants to talk to him about it, and he apologizes. He tells her that the DNA test was all his family's idea, and that he didn't know she existed. Robert hands her a letter. Callie later reads her dad's letter. Surprisingly, the letter is actually from her sister, Sophia, who, of course, is played by Bailey Madison, along with a photo, and Callie's shocked. She stares into a picture of a sister she never knew. So now Callie knows that she has this long-lost sister. I'm pretty sure we're going to find out more about her in the next episode, and it's going to be really interesting to see where that goes. So Callie's plot, I really enjoyed that plot as well. I thought it was good. Now, the other two plots in this episode I thought were really unnecessary. Emma and Jesus and Jude, I was not a huge fan of these plots. I really wasn't. Let's first go to Jesus and Emma, or Jemma, as you call it. So, as I said, they all went to this party. You know, Emma and Jesus went to this party, and their relationship, they almost had sex in the backseat of a car. Unfortunately, though, Jesus did not find Emma's controlling and independent ways attractive during this encounter. Probably also didn't want the same thing to happen with Lexi to happen with Emma, because he cares more about Emma than he did with Lexi. Because, you know, Lexi is the thing that got him into that mess last year. She had to go on that morning after pill. Her parents left the country because of that. Like, it was not good. And basically, she tells him what to do, one command after the other, and Jesus becomes fed up, ends the night before they had sex, and the two later talk about it doing the right way another night. And Jesus had a night planned, but Emma continues to want things her way. Jesus tells Emma that she can be bossy, and Emma doesn't take it, leading to a confrontation that may be detrimental to their relationship. So in my opinion, I'm thinking that they're going to break up, because they keep having fights, they keep setting it up where they're going to break up. I really think Jesus and Emma are going to break up. I don't want them to, but I think they're probably going to, just because I feel like that's where they're going with this relationship. There's no other way this can go, in my opinion, I don't think. But overall, I thought their plot was also very strong, good. I thought it was strong, but it wasn't as good. Overall, I liked it, though. And then the last thing I talk about, I really am not a huge fan of this plot. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really not the hugest fan of this plot. I don't know why. I'm just not. So, Jude decides to go to the battling cages with Connor and his dad. And, of course, he struggles with hitting the balls. He overhears Connor's dad incessant criticism of Connor. And Jude later finds out that Connor's dad does not want the two to be friends because he thinks that Jude is gay. And, of course, Jude is struggling with this. You know, he actually thinks he might be gay. And that's pretty much what happened there. You know, I really thought that was kind of a pointless plot, in my opinion. I wasn't as into that plot. I just thought it was kind of pointless, in my opinion. I don't know, guys. It might just be me, but I thought that was pointless. Overall, this episode was good. It was a great episode. Was it as good as last week's? No. Is it one of the weaker episodes of Fosters? Yes, it is one of the weaker episodes of Fosters. I feel like the Jude plot did not need to be in this episode. I just found it kind of necessary because we had like one scene with it and there wasn't really anywhere else it went. But there are a couple things I'm wondering. What is Brandon going to do about his hand? I think now that he knows he can play classic rock and he just can't play classical, I think he's a little bit more hopeful now, which I'm happy about. As far as Callie goes, is Callie going to find out more about her sister? Are we going to find out more about her sister? I'm pretty sure we are going to find out more about her sister. What do you think of Steph and Lena? Do you agree with what they did? Also, did Mike really attack Anna and he just doesn't remember? I'm pretty sure he was drunk, because you know he has drinking problems, and I'm pretty sure he just doesn't remember. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. As far as Jesus and Emma go, do you think they're going to break up? I really do think they're going to break up. They had another fight in this episode, and they've had 2 fights so far, so I'm pretty sure they're going to break up. But that is my review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for 24. So see you guys for that. Okay, bye.